What looks like a lot of work, carving a photo transfer of a horse into a piece of Tetra-Pak to work as a collagraph, is a lot of work. Stay tuned anyway. Hello print friends. Today I'm going to try something that I ordered, and I want to make a collagraph of this lovely horse, and I've treated it a bit in Photoshop, so I have some comic-like looking changes, lighter and darker, and one which is really too dark. But anyway, that's for later. You probably all know by now the Tetra-Pak technique. Like you take a milk carton box and cut it open, and then you can carve in it. This or that. That all works. When you've cut it open, it's something like this. Sometimes it is silver here. This, actually, I don't know if it would work, but I thought, can you order that stuff by the meter? Because this also always limits me to a certain size. And also you always have these rims, cringes, what are they called? And if you don't want to have that, maybe you can buy the stuff by the meter. So I ordered something. Whew. Of course, you had to order like 30 meters. 30 meters by 80 centimeters, I think this is. That's a big roll. It looks like it's the same stuff. You can see the silver in here. So I'm going to cut one piece to a size and try if this works as well as the other Tetra-Paks. So I am opening this monster of a Tetra-Pak roll and cut a smaller piece off. And then I'm cutting it to size to fit with the horse's image. Size is A4, which is 8 by 12 inches, roughly. And then I'm cutting off a smaller piece as a test sheet, because I want to make a test to see if this Tetra-Pak by the meter works the same way as the milk carton box. I'm drawing a tree here. Yeah, just a little test tree. So I'm cutting out the shape of the tree, not too deep, only to lift off the aluminum on top, and then tearing it off, and now we have the cardboard to print the tree. Preparing the horse photo for the transfer of the rough shapes, and I'm using a lighter version of my Photoshop version of the horse to distinct from each other 3 different shades of light. I'm using a black pro marker for the darkest shadows, and then another gray for the midtones. And everything you see here in white, but with a structure, that's going to stay plain white. I'm not going to do anything on the aluminum to it. You'll see what I mean. And all the time while I'm doing this, I have the reference photos around me, because sometimes it's really not so easy to say, okay, this is going to be pure black, this is going to be pure mid-tone, this is going to stay white. It's actually simplifying a very complex photo. Sometimes it helps to squint your eyes, and then you see the basic shades in a motif. And doing the same thing with the background there. Some more shades on the horse. and the clouds, and then it's ready to be transferred. So I tested the printing of the test sheet, the test tree. I also made some scratches because I was thinking about using a scratched grass background here, which is a beautiful thing with the Tetra-Pak material. I tested this one time, inking up the jelly blend, and then pressing the tree down on the jelly plate, and this was the result. And I kind of liked it, especially the grassy area, and also I like the sky with, well, maybe some snow or whatever. But I initially wanted the tree to be black, which is the case when you do a classical print, because what you do then is ink up the plate and press directly. And this is why this is the other way around than this one. It didn't work too well on this one. I wet the paper before I pressed it down, and it gave me these interesting structures here because in this area the paper was a little bit too wet. So I might just use this for my advantage. The problem is, as you can see, with regular printing, when you ink up the plate, you get the dark tree in the areas where I scratched the aluminum off, and with the jelly plate it's the other way around. So I have to decide before which technique I want to use, because very obviously, if I take the aluminum off here in the dark areas, with the jelly print, it's gonna show as white areas of the horse, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna try first to do the classical stuff, ink it up, maybe even try it with an etching ink later. And yeah, there's one thing I have to tell you. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see it. This is what I got for Christmas. It is an etching press. I'll walk around there so you can see better. So this is the etching press I got, and I'm so excited, and I haven't used it yet. I have to clean it. There's quite a lot of rust on it, as you can see here. And yeah, I got it with old felt and so on. It's a used one, so I got it for a real good price. Also have to clean all this from the rust. So my problem is, now that I have an etching press, I still want to do these jelly plate videos. So I would probably work with motifs then, where I can do both the jelly and the etching press, so that the people who don't have a press are not so disappointed. I'm so excited. I also made some stamp and stencil tests, because I was looking for a good background for the lawn here. Because doing that by hand is probably going to be a lot of work, which I actually like, but the video is getting very long. So I tried some stamps like these. This one I've used in a video before. Remember the Alphonse Mucha video? And some other stuff and stamps. And I kind of like this one, but it looks like stones. So that horse would have to lie on stones. And I don't know if I want to do that to the horse. So I use this stuff some other time, and I'll go for this. Now I'll show you how we transfer these shapes to the Tetra-Pak by the meter. I'm trying to tape down the cut to size Tetra-Pak piece here. Then I'm putting on a transfer sheet, which works in red, and taping that down too. And then at last the photo that I treated with the 3 color shapes. I am then transferring with a ball pen. You have to watch out that you really do it strongly, because otherwise it won't work. You cannot see it here, but I've checked it and it's okay, visibly okay. The reason why I'm doing this with the addition of a transfer sheet is because there are so many small lines here that I want to see. And so you have both in the transfer. You have the red marks where I want along with the ball pen, and it's also making an impression on the aluminum right away. So I have 2 ways of showing my lines, and that's just safer so you don't lose any. The face, of course, is the most important thing always, so I'm putting more attention on that one and showing it closer to you here. What I'm doing is just marking the general outlines of the face and then going around the shades as well. I mean the shades that I made. I chose a light blue ball pen so that I can see better where I've been before. You can see how the impression worked quite well on the aluminum. I have to deepen all those scratches though, all those marks. So I'm choosing some tools. This is an etching tool, which is very sharp, thinly pointed. And another pottery tool that is not quite as sharp. I have to change it a bit because the handle is not in the place where I want to put my fingers. So I'm just taping some masking tape around it to have a better grip. So what I'm doing is basically deepening the marks, and I'm already with an exacto knife cutting out the areas where I want the cardboard to show through. So these are going to be black. And please be careful with the exacto knives. I once cut my fingertips off, 2 of them. That was really awful. So I couldn't work for like 3 weeks or so. Please be careful. Always be safe and work slowly. This is sped up a lot, but I'm really going slow here. Also here, the face for me is the most important, so I'm taking my time for this one. In hindsight, I have to say I shouldn't have put so much detail in it, especially in the face, because sometimes when I cut a little too much, then I have these little things, these little aluminum ends, and I later have to glue them down again because when you're printing, you risk of losing some of the edges then. The bushes in the background are going to be black as well, so I'm taking off the aluminum in those places too. And well, I'm going to speed the rest of the process up quite a bit. You can slow it down if you want, but I don't want this video to get too long. See this little piece? That's what I meant. I have to glue it down. And that's very fiddly, because when you glue it down, you have to avoid that the glue gets on the rest of the cardboard. It will change the image. And there are some buildings all the way in the back. So I'm cutting these mini pieces of windows. So this is how far I got. I still have to work on the background areas. You're gonna see this in the second part of this video. Sorry, I had to put it in 2 parts because it's just such a long process and I did want to show you most of it. So check my new video. I'm doing some more on the background there and finally printing. See you next week.